Peter Maguire. We've been friends forever, and he's a scholar, very smart guy. And he was talking to me forever about doing a book, but something you do like, okay, let's have a trip to Japan. So you don't know exactly when it's going to happen or something, just, okay, let's keep this in mind. With the pandemic, things getting more like, stagnant.
Yeah.
And the idea come up, and we have the time and the effort and the whole situation to put it together.
Did you do any teaching at all during the pandemic?
Yes. Privates, some internet teaching, some instructions. Now I have a hixon.academy, which provides teaching through the internet.
So is it hixon.academy.com?
Just hixon.academy.
Oh, the academy is actually a destination now?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So, and that is for you just put up all stages of jiu-jitsu? Like, how do you have that set up?
Yeah, it's all there. But my focus now, because something average happen in almost every academy, is for every 10 students who come in today, 8 will leave in less than 6 months. Because the progressiveness of the classes, sometimes too soon gonna put you with a monster. That means a younger guy who try to beat you. And sometimes that experience can be harmful because you don't have the heart, you don't have the spirit for fighting. You go there to training, to practice, and some strong kid hurt you or don't care about you, and you feel like, wow, man, I'm not here to get hurt. I'm a musician, I hurt my finger. So, and then for any reason you quit. I feel like that kind of situation will preserve the warriors, will preserve the ones who get injured, put ice and come back next day. Who gets the mindset, a guy beat me up, tomorrow I go there to make my revenge. So those guys, they keep jiu-jitsu forever. And they will take what it needs to grow in the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. They will become better persons. But the 8 guys who quit, I felt like they not favor because the exposure of jiu-jitsu for them was not exactly perfect to engage them in a lifetime practice. So my proposal now, my ideas now, is not only to enforce the top guys who are good effectiveness and competing. Instead, I like to create a bigger base, creating more people who are unaware of jiu-jitsu, become comfortable to practice jiu-jitsu and take advantage of what jiu-jitsu can give to them. So if I put competition, if I put sparring, I'm not going to have the result I want. So I want to empower the guys by develop them on the senses they have and they don't know. The leverage, the base, the capacity to angle themselves, the timing, the deflections, the connection. So all the elements are there to serve you. And you're going to be very happy to learn without the egocentric aspect, the competitiveness, the disappointment, everything going to happen if I allowed you to practice. So the first year in this program has no opponents. The first year in this program has only training partners, where the guy going to help you to understand the better angle of your chin, the better weight distribution, how you hold, how you throw. So you're going to learn techniques, you're going to learn to enhance yourself with possibilities without the emotional aspect, without the frustration, without the hurting. In the end of this process, because at this point you get no color belt, nothing, you're going to say after a year, Master, what about competition? What about blue belt? I'm going to say, okay, you can go for the blue belt, where you're going to start you fighting against a guy who don't want to let you do. You want to try passes John guard, but John not going to let you do it. So it's going to be a fight there, and you're going to have to get used to the fight aspect. If you like that, you're going to keep for blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, great. If you don't like that because you felt too violent or too aggressive or too brutal or whatever, you stick with the fundamentals for life, because here you're going to get fit, you're going to get sharp in your possibilities to deflect a punch, to not get punched in the face, to know how to escape. And you're not going to fight. You're just going to learn and practice and get lean. You're going to get everything you need from fighting. But everything you need from Jiu-Jitsu to empower you, to give you sense of balance, more sharpness in your mind, more reflexes, more. So the ability for you to become a fighter is not there. But the ability for you to learn about yourself and know everything you can do in case of an eventual situation will be there for you for the rest of your life.
So how do you have this structured? Do you have it structured so that a person learns with another person? So that you get together with a friend and you go over the program together?
Yes, can be this, or it can be for teachers who learn how to teach and press this for their students. Because the way for you to teach without competing is just demonstrating positions in a high level of understanding. So how to escape from a headlock, how to escape from a mount position. And you can do this, you can elbow escape, you can sweep, you can... So you go over positions and resistance, control resistance and angles. So you start to not fight in Jiu-Jitsu, but learn Jiu-Jitsu the way it's supposed to be, without putting your ego to the proof.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I do. It is a beautiful thing, the ability to learn online now. That there's so much information that a person can get from a program like yours that ordinarily would take years and years and years of practice in school.
Yes, I feel like that, yes.
What are your thoughts on grappling dummies, on practicing on like a grappling dummy? Do you think there's any benefit of that?
Maybe for a specific move, if you want to take something from the floor or eventually throw or something, or strikes or positions or moving knee on the belly, they can have some benefit because you don't have to have a body, actual somebody to. But in terms of practice, the practice of two people are better because you can have the change of angles and the acceptance of resistance and know how to, because it's always a flow. When the guy tries to do something, either you're going to follow that situation, or if he resists, you're going to flow to another. So you need that sense of the ability to exchange directions and obey the energy of the flow.
What has it been like? I've been here for the past year now. What has it been like in Los Angeles as far as academies?
We're not yet getting out of the woods yet. Things are getting better. People start to become more confident to practice, but the schools is still not quite open for everybody, still like limited. And I hope start to get better now, but situation is not, even now with this new variant, people start to become more freak out yet and start to creating, I heard they're going to create a mandate for you to prove you vaccinated if you want to go to a gym, if you want to go to the airport, if you want to go wherever, you have to prove yourself that you're vaccinated. So things are not easy now, but we're getting there, we're getting better.
That's what they've done in New York.
Yes.
They've decided to do that in New York. But the problem is, of course, that you can still get it if you're vaccinated, and you can still spread it if you're vaccinated. One of my friends in Los Angeles at the Comedy Store, he was vaccinated, and he gave it to like 12 people.
Yes.
Some of them vaccinated, some of them not. And some of the vaccinated ones wound up in the hospital. So just being vaccinated, to me, does not seem like it's enough. I understand like you would want to do it if you want to do it to help yourself. But the idea of only allowing vaccinated people, what they need to do is have some sort of rapid test like we did here today.
Yes.
What we do before every podcast. If they could make that more affordable and make it more accessible and have a really accurate, rapid test and just have people, when they come to train, test them.
Yeah, that's the idea, but I don't know how things are going to go from here, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and the controversy, the conspiracies, is all about, now people become political, either against or forward. They don't see the need. I mean, it's hard to debate science and politics and what it is. So I think things it's hard to get an opinion about it because you're always going to have somebody who's going against what you say. So it's important to do what you feel better.
Well, it's also one of the things that we talked about earlier, that there's a lot of people that never have experienced real adversity in their life, and they're not prepared for uncomfortable scenarios, so they look to blame. And so they look to blame other people, whether they look to blame the unvaccinated people or they look to blame certain doctors, or they look to blame the pharmaceutical companies. They're looking for an enemy. And a lot of times these people are not looking at their own situation in terms of what can they do to empower their own health. But instead, they're trying to find enemies out there.
Yes, and the most important is to keep your capacity to fight those viruses. Your immune system is strong.
Right.
A lot of sauna, a lot of things are good for you, and you just keeping living life.
Yeah, vitamins, healthy food, exercise, and yet those are the things that you never get encouraged to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever been a time where we should have encouraged people to exercise, now is the time. Eat healthy, exercise, lose weight. It's simple. It's like
it's always been there for us.
It's always been there for us. Well, that's one of the real fortunate things that in my life is finding martial arts at an early age. So from the time I was a teenager, it's always been my life. It's always been a part of my life, and I never stopped. And that is, I've tried to express that to people as much as possible, that it's a great benefit. And also it was a great benefit to me to, I guess I was 27 or 28, start from scratch in Jiu Jitsu. So to have competency in striking and to be a good striker and then go into something where I was a complete beginner was very, very valuable for me.
Now you master both.
No, not quite. I'm mediocre at both. But the point is that I learned how to start. It's very good for your ego to be shot down and to become a beginner again. And so few people ever have that opportunity in life to do something very difficult where you're really starting from the beginning as a white belt.
Yes. If you see in the perspective of martial arts, is the capacity you have to deal with warfare situations. And as part of the warfare situations, fight for happiness. So fighting is not about physicality. Fighting is about achieve, conquer. So the conquering can be conquering a car, conquering a new girlfriend, education of your kids. So whatever you accomplish, you should feel happy about it. And in order for you to accomplish something, I don't believe in luck. I believe in work. So you have to be putting things together. You have to have a right strategy, the right mindset, the courage, the capacity to visualize what you want. So all the elements and the tools of the warrior had to be used almost on daily basis for you to live life. Life is a mini battle. It's a battle you do to just conquer everything you're seeking for. And if you don't, you feel frustrated. If you achieve, you'll be happy. And martial arts give you the sense of self-control, spirituality, the capacity to engage, the courage. So you've been testing yourself in martial arts practice to really bring this to life and expose this and bring this alive in life, just to conquer a new job, just to be a good father or something.
I think that's one of the most valuable aspects of martial arts.
Definitely.
And it's one of the aspects that the people who don't practice it they're not aware of it. They don't understand the extreme value. There's obviously value in learning martial arts and learning how to defend yourself, learning how to beat opponents. There's value in that, but there's extreme value in learning how to deal with difficult circumstances, learning how to overcome.
Yes, because the idea of developing your practice within martial arts doesn't take you from using those practices in life. And the connection between both is always there. So if you not experience martial arts, you don't experience the ability for you to resolve problems. And I feel like what is important in the practice is exactly the fact the practice cannot be strong enough for you to diminish your desire to practice. You have to add practice at will to grow in your process. So that's why sometimes a lot of people fall short and the continuous martial arts practice, because sometimes the practice becomes too hard and transpass the limits for him, his capabilities. So I feel like martial arts now has to be taught in a very good sense, from breathing to positioning, for kids, for executives, for older people, for anyone, for women, for housewives, because it's a practice you start to understand yourself without limitations and develop a better qualities to become a mother, to become an executive, an entrepreneur, anything.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I think it's something that I think every young man should learn. I think there's too many men that go through life without any martial arts experience, and I just think it's one of the reasons why there's so much conflict.
Especially in those days, because I feel like life today dehumanize you. Robotics, technology, internet, they take you from live present, you know. So in the internet, you have your best picture, your best saying, and you put yourself as a character. So, but when you go shake hand of somebody, look at somebody in the eye, ask for a job, ask for a date or something, you lost the ability to communicate. So Jiu Jitsu and other martial arts too give you that sense of direct connection, the hug, the sense, the breathing together. So this brings a value not only for the aspect of learning martial arts, but to humanize you in a sense of using your senses, your power, your breathing, your heartbeat, your connection with the opponent's movement. So all this has to do with the being present, being connected, being human, develop your instincts. And that's also another aspect which is priceless, regardless the effectiveness you have as a fighter.
I could not agree more, and I think there's no better martial art than jiu-jitsu for that, for expressing who you are as a person, because you're learning so much about your limitations, your fears, your ability to overcome, your ability to learn, showing improvement because of your determination and discipline and hard work. You can actually see it all play out. It's very human, all while being acutely aware of your shortcomings and your strengths.
Yes.
It's the opposite of the internet, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very valuable thing that I think I sing its praises as much as possible, and I'm glad that a lot of people listen. It's one of my most satisfying things is when I meet someone and maybe they're a black belt and they say, I started jiu-jitsu because I heard you talk about it on your podcast.
That's
it
great.
makes me so happy. It makes me so
Me
happy.
too.
So what is your time like these days? What have you been doing with yourself?
I'm not doing much. I'm doing my information through the website. This platform is being my focus now. I'm not doing too many seminars those days with those COVID things, but I will be back on seminars. And I do exercise, you know. I have a loving wife, so I'm happy, giving a peaceful life and trying to be at service, providing a good knowledge, a good understanding, a good possible solutions for a lot of people who are kind of practicing jiu-jitsu or wants to practice.
Do you think you're going to stay in Los Angeles?
For now, yes. But at the future, I don't know.
It's a weird place now.
Yes, very weird, man. A lot of turmoil there.
Yeah, it's strange to watch a place change so radically over a short period of time.
Yes. But for me, now it's not even something for consider, you know. I just stay there and live in hell there and is waiting for get better.
Where do you have an academy there now?
No. I just have a studio where I produce content for the internet.
And so whatever training you were just doing privately at other people's places? Or?
No, in my studio, because a little studio, I kind of put soundproof to be able to do recording and stuff, but also has a good nice mat area, so I can teach up to 6 people is okay.
I think I told you this, but the first time I ever did jiu-jitsu was at your place on Pico.
Oh, yeah?
But I just didn't know any better. I thought all the Gracie schools were the same, and I found out there was one closer to me, Rickson Gracie's, which was off Hawthorne, right off of Sunset Boulevard. I'm like, oh, that's closer. I'll go to that one instead. I didn't know. I wish I knew back then. I didn't know shit.
Lucky me. You didn't kick my ass that time.
Oh, get out of here. It really was a perfect time to learn from you too, because that was the time where you're competing in Japan Valley Tudo, and I mean that was an amazing time for jiu-jitsu, really.
Yes, it was a great time.
Have you ever thought about doing another documentary, or having someone do another documentary on your life? Because the documentary Choke was an amazing documentary, one of the best documentaries in all of martial arts, if not the best. But it really was about Japan Valley Tudo.
Yes.
It was really about your time representing and going over there and competing.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about one about just your whole life in jiu-jitsu, maybe even similar to like this book?
Yes, we are in a project.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
All right, we're up and running. Money Mendez, what's up? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for
finally,
having
man.
me.
We've been talking about doing this a long time.
Too long,
Oh,
bro.
Jesus.
Whoa!
Look at that, Jamie. We splattered. I tried to
We got a
push the
squirter.
plunger down on the French press, and it splattered everywhere. So if my microphone explodes, we know why. Sorry, this table needed a little seasoning. Needed some color.
I'm gonna throw one over here. I'll get this.
It's all right. So what's happening, man? How you doing? How's the retirement life?
Oh, man.
Well, retirement from fighting,
Yeah.
but maybe not really.
No, man. I'm actually more busy now, not fighting. I'm actually want to get back into the training part of it so it can slow down a little bit. But it's been good, dude. It's we got a ton of stuff going on, a lot of stuff on the plate. My wife's about to kill me, but but we got some shit going.
What? You working too much?
Too much, man. Way too much. But it's good, man. I after fighting, I had to channel that that energy of getting shit going and being successful somewhere. I almost felt like I jumped into a little bit of a depression there for like a couple weeks after, because I had like no sense of doing,
Right.
And so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start just trying to grow a couple brands and building a couple companies and see what happens. So I was like, honed all my energy onto that stuff, and it definitely took over. So it's been nice. It's been fun being able to just basically channel that stuff into that and let it rip.
It's one of the most difficult things for a fighter is the stopping fighting, but you don't know what to do with all this intense energy that you've been focusing your whole life in one way. And now all of a sudden, and for a lot of fighters, it's like their whole identity, right?
It is, man. Like I started wrestling when I was 5 years old. Like I wrestled from 5 years old every single year up and through college. And then the day after graduation, drove up to Faber's, fucking lived in his, I lived in his spare room and started trained for 3 months and had my first pro fight, and then just basically never stopped. And so it's like when you have that identity of an athlete, and then that's like your routine, that's what you do. Like when I stopped, I was just like, dude, what am I doing? Like, what do I do with my life? Like,
And how old are you now?
I'm 36. I just turned 36 in May.
So you're still in this like athletic zone where you're still, until you're once you're around 40, people start going, man,
Yeah.
time to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
But 36, it's like, man, Anderson was in his prime at 36.
Yeah. I was going to say, unless you're Dan Hendo
Right.
or even Couture, but those are freaks.
Couture didn't even start his career, I think, until he was 35.
Yeah.
I want to say he might have been, it was 34 or 35 with his first UFC fight.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Let's find out what that is. Find out. It's like 1997. I was there for it. That was the tournament, and it was the same weekend that Tito Ortiz had his first fight. Guy Metzger had his first fight. Like Tito beat Wes Albright.
Yeah.
I don't know how I remember that. And then he fought Guy, and Guy tapped him out. Guy caught him in a guillotine.
Yep. I remember watching those.
Yeah.
I remember going to Blockbuster. Do you remember Blockbuster?
Sure.
Yeah. Me and my brothers would ride over there on our bikes, and I'd go straight to the section that had all the VHS for the UFC events.
Right next to like Faces of Death.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. We'd grab as many as we could, take them home, and sit there and just watch them for hours. Yeah, man, it was
I
cool.
remember. I believe it was UFC 2 was the only one that was available. I believe you couldn't get UFC 1 on VHS for a while.
Yeah.
Because I think Rickson Gracie owned it or something. I might be wrong about that. Yeah.
He would have been like turning 34 that year.
Aha. There you go.
Like a month after.
That's
There you
crazy,
go.
man.
Yeah. 34, starting his career, and goes on to become the light heavyweight and the heavyweight champion.
One of the best in the world, yeah.
One of the best ever, and then fights for more than 10 years. So this is 97. When did he retire from the UFC?
I thought he was